guys, today I'll be showing you how to use one of the most powerful tools in cybersecurity world called Nmap, or Network Mapper. So, as you can see, Nmap is a free and open source tool used by ethical hackers, network administrators and security professionals to map networks, scan for vulnerabilities and ensure systems are secure. Before we begin, remember, always get proper authorization before scanning of systems. Unauthorized scanning is illegal and unethical. To demonstrate, Nmap in action will use a safe and legal target provided by Nmap Dem team, basically, as you can see on the screen right there. Scanme.nmap.org. Let's dive in, I guess. So, as you can see, if you do not have a target, or do you have a target for some purpose, please do everything ethically and you have permission. For example, when I do scans or do vulnerability scans or hacking, stuff like that, I use platforms like HackerOne or Backroll, which companies allow you to do and you get rewards. I'll get into it some other time. But yeah, let's get into the video. Right, so as you can see, we're going to be doing this. This is the permission from Nmap themselves that we are allowed to scan them and perform these tasks to show you guys how to use it safely and ethically. So let's open our terminal. As you can see, we're on Hexploit. Right, so firstly, let's make sure Nmap is installed, or open your terminal and type Nmap dash and we're going to type in version. What versions do we have? Version. What do you mean? I spelled correctly. Nope, I didn't spell Nmap correctly. See, even me, I make mistakes. Nmap dash version. There we go. See, different color. Goes blue, not green, which means we could type it correctly. So it's installed. See, if you didn't have it installed, what you could do sudo apt update, and then after you have updated your system, let's clear our screen. You can do sudo apt install Nmap, and then you press that, see what happens. Unable to locate package because we already have Nmap installed. Right? Anyway, so let's get into this video. This is for Debian-based systems like Ubuntu or Kali Linux. But for Red Hat-based systems, if you have a Red Hat-based systems, this is not, so we're not going to be installing it. You do sudo yum install Nmap. Sounds very yummy. Once installed, we get ready to start scanning. So, basics, scanning commands we're going to teach you today, right? Let's start with basic scanning. Scanme.nmap.org, which is a server provided by the Nmap team specially for testing and learning. To check if their service is online, we use nmap.sn scanme.nmap.org. Let's see what happens. Right then. So we have some information, right? So it's starting Nmap. This is your information. Nmap scan reports for Nmap do. So host is up. Other address for scan Nmap not scanned. This is it. And then Nmap dial 1 IP address, 1 host is up, scanned. So nice, we found the IP address, right? How cool is that? So let's clear our screen. Right, so what shall we try this? Next, let's perform a basic port scan. See what comes up with, right? So we do Nmap scanme.nmap.org and let's see what happens. Oh, give it a second, sometimes it takes a little bit longer. This scans the 1,000 ports, most common ports, and tells us which ones are open in the output. You see a list of open ports, the service running on them, and possibly some additional details. So as you can see here, we have quite a few, but not a lot. We have TCP ports, 2 different that opened. Port 80, port 427 TCPs. We have HTTP, SSH, service status. So one's open, filtered, open, right? Quite cool, right? Tells you some information if you're doing vulnerability tests or looking for something. So specific port scan. If you want to be really specific for what you're looking for, you can use that Nmap tools for it. So if we want to scan a specific port, for example port AE, we can use Nmap -q p 80. That's the port we want to scan. Nmap here. Make sure we spell everything correctly. No, we didn't, and that would be quite embarrassing. Scan me. Now, let's press enter. This checks if port A commonly used for HTTP is open. Here's what the output looks like. So, did we find port 80? Yes, it says the port 80 TCP is open and its service is HTTP. And the scan completed in 0.48 milliseconds, if you want to be very specific. Right, let's clear that. What else shall we try? So, advanced scanning features. Right, let's get a little bit more advanced. Now, let's try some of the Nmap's advanced features on scanme.com.uk. Right, well, what were you using? Same one. Right, so to identify the version of services running on the ports, use nmap.s capital V. Does make a very big difference. Scanme.nmap.org. The output will show you the detailed information about the services, such as the web server version of SSH versions. Right. Takes a little bit longer sometimes. Come on. The Kali VM's a little bit slower than usual. My actual Kali Linux computer should be much more better. Come on. There we go. Here we go. Took a long time. If you're ever going to use this, use it on your actual Kali Linux machine, not your VM, because that takes a little bit longer. So, this is the information provided. Nmap scan, report, scanme.nmap, the IP address, which is nice. Host is up, yep. Other addresses for scanme, not scanned, obviously not shown. 9095 closed TCP ports. Ports which did show us is the same as what we saw earlier. There's a SSH open one, open SSH 661p1 Ubuntu and Ubuntu Linux port protocol. It's quite nice. And it shows you other information which are quite useful, like Linux, what kernel and stuff like that. It took it 60 seconds. So yeah, sometimes it does take a little bit longer, so we can clear this. So that's quite cool, right? Operation system detections. Let's try this. So what it is, to get the operation systems of the target, use nmap. And this is the command you're going to be using. Nmap, oh, but we don't need that. Nmap space dot capital O, then scanme dot nmap dot org. Let's see what happens, right? So what this should show us is, well, this isn't always 100% accurate. It is 100% accurate. It gives you a good estimate of the OS type and version, what they're running, and what the system is, basically, which is quite useful. Sometimes you do pen testing. So again, running Linux, right? OS details, network distance, 20 hops. So, you know, when you do it for our vulnerable things, is you're going to see more stuff, but this is quite useful just for the purpose of what we need to be using it for, right? So the next one, aggressive scanning, right? Shall we try that? Right, so for the aggressive scanning, for detailed scan including OS detection, version detection, and trace route. So the command you're going to be using to do that will be nmap space capital A scanme.nmap.org. Press enter. Here's what the output looks like. So yeah, these are the details when it loads up. So give that a couple minutes. Also, When using these features, remember to scan responsibly and avoid overwhelming the server, because sometimes we do too much, it could lead to a DDoS, denial of service. And that's not good. The police could be knocking on your door. So don't be aggressive with it when you're just trying to test it out. But as long as you have permission to do so, do it. But I'm only here to educate you and show you the basics and how it runs and how it works. If you do want to learn, whilst this is loading up, if you do want to learn a lot of things about Nmap and what it can do, you can go to nmap.org, and then you can download a reference guide, books, docs, Zenmap, GUI, in the movie. Like, literally shows you what everything you can do, right? And if I'm not wrong, what's my thingy? There's a new version here of Nmap, which is quite nice. Reference guide. We can go on sec list, right? So it shows you quite a few things, which is quite nice. By the way, you can even have a book on how to use Nmap and stuff like that, which is quite cool. Anyway, has it done doing it? Nope. So let's give it a minute or so. Whilst this is loading, because this will be last command, the real-world use cases. So, why should you use Nmap? Network troubleshooting, find devices on your network and identify misconfiguration. Very useful tool. Security auditing, check for open ports or outdated services. Vulnerability management, use scans, results to secure systems by closing unnecessary ports or updating services. For example, if you find an open port for a service you're not using, close it. Reduce the risk of an attack surface, doesn't it? Exactly. So here's one of the good reasons. So, as this is still loading, I'll give you a conclusion of it. Wow. It gave us a lot of information, didn't it? So if we scroll to the top, as you can see, host is up, latency, ports, description of each port, which is quite useful, SSS, host keys, DSAs, port about port 80, filtered, open, device type. So it gave you quite a few information than you wouldn't expect just from a simple tool you can download. But the conclusion of it all is that, oh, sorry about that. Right, so that wraps up for our introduction to Nmap today. We explored basics and advanced scanning techniques, demonstrating real-world use cases, and practice on a safe target, which is scanme.nmap.org, which is quite nice of them for doing. I think all applications should have that, so you can test it out and run some commands and learn ethically, because you could get in trouble. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. It will be quite nice. For more ethical hacking tutorials, let me know if the comments, what tools or topics you'd like me to cover next. Thanks for watching Hexploits. Until next time, stay curious, stay safe, stay ethical. Keep hacking responsibly. I'll see you guys in the next one.